Hundreds of people are crammed around a confined area in the initial scene. A little Thomas is brought by his mother to be transported aboard a train for protection. They never see one another again after she tells him she loves him. Thomas encounters Dr. Ava Page on the train. Following their escape from the maze, Thomas and the other Gladers, Newt, Teresa, Miho, Frypan, and Winston, are transported to the lonely city. When they arrive, a swarm of infected individuals rushes towards them, but the mercenary warriors accompanying them beat them off. They transport the Gladers to Jansen's facility. He claims that the Gladers will find refuge, food, clothing, and safety from the flare at this location. In a cafeteria, Thomas joins Miho and the other lads. They notice additional groups of individuals their age, indicating that they were not the only ones who escaped the maze. Frypan points out one boy, Eris, who has spent the most time in a maze, and in one with predominantly girls. Jansen then goes in and calls out numerous names for what appears to be a relocation. Teresa's name is called, and she joins the other as they walk out. That night, Eris drags Thomas out of bed and leads him via the vents to a room where many bodies are carried in for testing and studies. Thomas begins to suspect that they are doing something wrong with Teresa. The next day, another set of persons is summoned. Thomas engages in a brief altercation with a guard in order to grab his ID badge. He and his companions sneak out of their rooms that night to find Teresa and the others. Thomas finds them all tethered to some type of machinery, and they are all unconscious. Thomas then enters a room where he finds Jansen speaking to Ava via projection. He's been conducting studies to determine who is resistant to the flare, and he discusses looking for a group named the Right Arm and their safe haven. Thomas discovers Jansen is employed by the World in Catastrophe Kill Zone Department, WCKD. Thomas joins Newt, Miho, Frypan, Winston, and Eris and attempts to locate Teresa so that they may flee. They come across a merc who points his stun pistol at them, which Miho knocks into a wall. Thomas takes the rifle and arranges for a doctor to transport them to Teresa. They grab her and rush out the door. Jansen and 3 other mercs try to stop them, claiming that they won't stay long in the Scorch. Thomas fights them off and barely escapes with the others. The Gladers are now on the outside in a wide desert, heading toward the mountains in search of the Right Arm. They uncover an abandoned building with power, but when they switch it on, Thomas and Miho are ambushed and hunted by some cranks. When the cranks and mercs collide, the pursuit intensifies. Winston keeps them off with a rifle while they discover an escape, but one of the cranks strikes and scratches him. The others drag him out. As the sun rises, the Gladers continue to stroll across the sand mounds. Winston falls because he has been infected and the infection is fast spreading throughout his body. He only wants to be put out of his pain and not become a crank. Frypan pulls a pistol from his pocket, which Newt removes and delivers to Winston. Winston bids his buddies farewell and they go. They all hear a single gunshot while walking. While the others are sleeping for the night, Thomas notices a civilization in the distance. A tremendous lightning storm begins to form as the group continues to move. Powerful bolts strike down, striking Miho but not killing him. His comrades seize him and drag him into another building.